Hey everyone, I came across this guy on YouTube. I'm not going to give him any credit because I don't get it. But anyway, this guy makes videos and does a thing called no-fapping, which means no masturbation. And he's saying about people who relapse and how, it's all about energy and it's a waste of energy and all these things. I'm like, no, it's not. Masturbation is very similar to having sex. It's friction, it's pleasure, it makes you happier and better, and it's de-stressful. I mean, yes, if you're masturbating like 4 or 5 times a day and you hurt yourself and don't use lubrication, then yeah, it could be problematic. But I don't think the guy understands that it's actually more dangerous to not masturbate. Because guys have a thing that's about the size of a walnut called the prostate gland. And if you don't masturbate, it actually will increase your risk of getting prostate cancer. It's actually good for you to do that. Think about it like how women have periods because of the lining of their uterus and it sheds basically, and that's why they bleed and have like a disgusting like color or whatever, and they wear pads and stuff because that's the lining of their uterus. And when they have eggs and stuff, it's basically like the cap like needs ways to escape or something. Guys are kind of similar. They need a way to release themselves as well. The only difference is theirs comes more naturally. Theirs just happens. And they have a menstrual cycle. Guys don't have that. However, if you jerk off every single day or whenever, if you're bored or whatever, it's actually better for you. Now, there's some guys who just don't, like, there are people who are asexual and they just don't care for it. Like, and there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not shaming anyone, but I think it's kind of stupid and crazy to basically recommend people, especially men, to not masturbate because you need to store your energy. And then he talks about how porno and masturbation combined is really bad for erectile dysfunction, and he talks about all these crazy things that just are not true. There is nothing that can back up his claims. However, I have talked to a urologist about masturbation. He said it's perfectly normal. He said it's actually a healthy way of life. And women do it too. It's a normal part of life. I think people who don't masturbate usually are angry and usually are more stressed. And people who do masturbate or have sex, it releases dopamine and makes you feel better about yourself. And I don't think people understand that. I don't think people understand that there's nothing wrong with it. And I think the guy is kind of crazy for saying that stuff. There's nothing wrong with jerking off at all. I mean, when I was a kid, I did it way too much. I think I did about 3 to 5 times a day. However, now I probably do it once or 3 times a day. But then you get to the point where you can't really, orgasm anymore. Then that's when I usually stop. That used to be a bad habit when I was a kid. But, I mean, I helped my dad move on the 10 freeway to Florida, and I didn't masturbate for over a week. And I helped him move and everything. And I was like, man, I really need to jerk off. Like, my balls hurt, and I was like stressed out, and I was angry. And then I went in the bathroom and I came so hard. It was ridiculous. And I felt so much better. And you do feel better. And that's my point. Like, your balls actually do hurt and they swell up. I don't know if that's like for every guy, but I think it's more dangerous to not masturbate because it does help your prostate health, you know? And I don't know if guys masturbate more than women. I'm not going to make claims like that. I don't want to be discriminatory towards women because I think it's pretty equal. I think women masturbate just as much as men do. I mean, some of them probably don't because they can get laid all the time. So what's the point of masturbating if you can just bang any guy? You know what I mean? Whereas for a guy, you know, they probably do it all the time, you know? I mean, I had sex once and it was a disaster. But I'm the kind of person that needs to be in love with someone before I have sex with them. I can't just have sex with anyone. I'm not that kind of person. Anyway, so yeah, I just want to let you know that there's nothing wrong. There's nothing to be ashamed of. And this no nut November and this no fapping, whatever, I think is so ludicrous. It's ridiculous. And I think it's actually bad for your prostate health and for your mental health as well. I don't think there's anything wrong with masturbating. There is nothing wrong with you. And I'm sick and tired of like religious people and all these crazies that think that it's a waste of energy. And then they go, oh, but then you are stressed out when you meet girls and you feel awkward and ashamed. I don't at all. I've jerked off into a sock before or my fleshlight, and I mean, I get more embarrassed if someone saw my fleshlight, but I've shown it to a couple people just because they were curious what it looked like. And I sanitize the thing. I clean it really well. I use a little touch of rubbing alcohol to get the sticky part off, and then I use water, and then I use their solutions, and then I also do the cornstarch that you put on it to keep it, you know, soft for the silicone. And I gotta tell you, I mean, it's great. I mean, it helps a lot, especially using a fleshlight. It feels amazing, by the way. It feels just like a vagina. It's insane. But I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I don't think masturbation is a bad thing. And I think anyone who condemns you on that is a piece of shit. And I don't get it. I don't get the no fappy thing. Or, oh, you know, if you relapse. First of all, if you stop jerking off and then you haven't jerked off in like weeks, and then all of a sudden you see like a porno and then you have to jerk off, you didn't die. You know what I mean? There's no rehab center for jerk off people. So how is that a relapse? I mean, I can understand if you did drugs. I can understand if you were doing a bunch of alcohol and doing things that can actually impair your mind and your body. I mean, if you stop drinking, if you're that big of an alcoholic and you immediately stop drinking, you could die. You could get a seizure and you could die. You know why I know that? Because my own dad is an alcoholic and he almost died by doing that. My own aunt is an alcoholic too. And she has been sober for more than 3 years. I'm so goddamn proud of her. And I feel bad for her because you have people around her that are drinking and they're drunks and there's alcohol around. And I'm so goddamn proud of her to not open that and drink it. I'm so proud of her. You realize how hard it is for me, who's an addict towards Coke? I mean, I can't get enough of Coca-Cola. I mean, when I win at Circle K app, I'm always at the gas station buying a Coke all the time. And I'm heavily addicted. It really is a drug. I mean, I'm more addicted to caffeine and sugar and deliciousness of a Coca-Cola versus alcohol. Like, I would rather prefer a Coke versus a beer, believe it or not. You know why? Because there's caffeine. And caffeine is a stimulant. It keeps you awake. And the sugar also gives you hyperactivity, and it's also has a lot of carbonation, so it gives you that bubbly feeling on your tongue, and it just makes you feel good. And there's also a little bit of sodium as well. And that's my point. It's addicting. I don't think people understand how addicting Coke is, or coffee drinkers. But then again, coffee is not bad for you at all. We've been drinking coffee for hundreds and hundreds of years, just like tea. Tea is actually the most consumed beverage in the world. Coffee is obviously second, but I mean, there's a lot of health benefits drinking tea. There's a lot of antioxidants. Chamomile makes you relaxed. When I was in a mental institution for depression, they gave me chamomile tea to go to sleep with. Problem is, it makes you piss like a racehorse. But they did. They gave it to me, and it was delicious. And the nurses were always super nice when they would give it to you. And when you can't sleep, that's the only thing they can give you. They won't give you melatonin or anything, which is kind of upsetting. But they will give you chamomile tea, so I thought that was pretty nice. And it does help. It did help a little bit. But it's hard to sleep when you have a roommate and everyone's fucking crazy. But the thing is that this whole thing about no masturbation is stupid. I was reading all the comments going, man, this guy's right. I haven't jerked off in 93 days. I feel happier. I have more confidence. I'm picking up girls, and the energy is attracted to other women. That's not true at all. However, this actually is true. If you have more of a positive mindset and you're confident, it attracts everyone around you. Look at Jonathan Van Ness. I mean, he's a gorgeous man. He looks like fucking Jesus. And he's a good person. He's good looking. He's super nice. He has an amazing smile. He makes everyone around him feel like they're the center of attention, and he makes people feel good. And he is a ball of energy. He's always happy. He's always making people feel good around him, and other people are attracted to that. I mean, look at when he's doing his like dancing in the morning and feeding his cats, and then he does this yoga and gymnastics and ice skating. I feel really happy watching him, especially when he's dancing on the ice. You feel like he's an antidepressant. He makes you feel amazing about yourself. And it helps. I told him that. I said, dude, you are like an antidepressant. Every time I watch your stories, I feel happier. And it's true. And I feel bad because when I used to post depressing stuff on my Instagram, my friend said that she felt a lot. She said, I feel a lot happier ever since I stopped looking at your posts. And that really hurt my feelings. Because I would always post my music, and I was always posting stuff, and I felt like she didn't care anymore. And now I can't talk to her, and it's been over 2 weeks. I feel bad that I hurt her feelings, but it's like, I will never support the idea of motorcycles. I think they're stupid, and I think they're dangerous, and I'm afraid she's going to get killed on that thing. And I feel bad at the way I worded things, but she doesn't understand how scary that is for a person like me with autism and anxiety. I also have borderline personality disorder as well. So, Anyway, I'm going to watch more of Working Moms because there's some titties in it. So, that one girl, Kate, has got some fucked up lips. Have you seen her? She's kind of weird. Anyway, I'm going to watch it. But anyway, thanks for listening to the podcast. I might post more in the future. I'm not sure. It's just I'm going through a lot right now. So anyway, yeah, I just want to make a point about that guy's video. Like, I don't know why he's getting so many views on those videos. I mean, there's nothing wrong with jerking off. You know what? Keep on and spank it on. Take it easy, everyone.